has been a Cinderella year for the University of Nevada at Las Vegas under Jerry Tarkanian. Of active coaches, the best percentage-wise. Finally, last week, the Runnin' Rebels hit the jackpot. #1 ranking on the strength of long-range shooting star Larry Anderson and the strong All-American candidate center Sidney Green, their heart and soul. Sidney Green, power under the boards and a smooth touch outside. This week, things started to turn sour. Playmaker Danny Tarkanian hit with a case of bronchitis. Freshman power forward Eldridge Hudson out of action with a recurring knee injury. And so on Thursday, the longest winning streak in the nation, 24 games, came to an end at conference rival Fullerton State. Sparked by Leon Wood, who leads the nation in assists, Fullerton State knocked UNLV from the unbeaten ranks. And today, things don't get any easier. UNLV tries to get back on the winning trail, invading Morgantown, where the Mountaineers of West Virginia hardly ever lose. And we are inside the West Virginia Coliseum, where last night fans set bonfires outside for the few remaining standing room seats. This has been a red-hot ticket, sold out for weeks. The West Virginia Mountaineers have won 43 of their last 44 games, one loss since 1980, so you know what Nevada Las Vegas faces today. The Mountaineers virtually unbeatable, and we have 16,000 plus. Nevada Las Vegas has already clinched the PCAA title, 24-1. The West Virginia Mountaineers looking for a tournament berth, 18-6, a half a game in front in the Atlantic 10 Conference. And you can just feel the electricity here at the West Virginia Coliseum, everyone, as we welcome you. I'm Dick Stockton. Now, for UNLV, it's a chance to immediately bounce back from their first setback of the year. And for those who have criticized the schedule for the Runnin' Rebels, a victory here at West Virginia, a tough road court, would be a big feather in their cap. As for West Virginia, well, there's nothing like knocking off the #1 team. The Rebels are #1 right now. They want to build some momentum. West Virginia, with national exposure, looks to win today at home. And I'm very pleased to be working alongside Steve Grody. When we talk about the Mountaineers, Greg Jones, their outstanding guard, has to be the key.
Dick, I don't think there's a team in the country that revolves around one player offensively more than West Virginia. Jones is a great athlete. He's strong, he's quick, he's fast. He plays 40 minutes a game. He's an outside shooter. He's probably best at taking it to the basket. He is their offense.
Everyone talks about the Runnin' Rebels as a team that likes to run. West Virginia doesn't exactly like to walk the ball up.
They can't beat UNLV in a half-court game. They've got to get it up and down the floor, get that easy 15-footer. Now, ironically, that plays right into UNLV's hands. So who's better at the transition game? The next 40 minutes will tell.
All right, we expect a fast-paced game, baseline to baseline. UNLV 24-1, West Virginia 18-6, and we'll be back to meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's game in just one moment.
CBS Sports presents NCAA basketball. Today, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Runnin' Rebels and the West Virginia Mountaineers, live from West Virginia Coliseum in Morgantown, West Virginia. Sponsored by light beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. And by the Bic Shaver, designed to give you days of close, comfortable shave.
You know, there's nothing like getting together for a nice, friendly game of cards.
That's right.
Jim brings the cards.
Uh-oh.
Mickey brings the doll.
Thanks, doll.
And I bring the beer. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's got a third less calories than the regular beer. And it's less filling. And you don't want to get filled up when you're dealing with these guys who... Okay, Numa, cut the cards. Oh, no.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Mr. McEnroe, that's a very close shave.
You must be joking! That ball was in!
No, Mr. McEnroe, your shave. It's very close.
Of course! I shave with Bic.
You earn millions and shave with a 20-cent Bic?
Look, why pay more for fancy handles and tricky tops when I get lots of close shaves with Bic?
Advantage McEnroe.
He's right. I don't have to shave with a 20-cent Bic. but I do.
Joey, the fastest way possible.
Yes, sir.
Atta boy.
When information has to get to branch offices, very often it takes more time than it should. That's not productive. And productivity is what IBM Office systems are all about.
When are the price changes going out, Mary?
Right now.
Today, IBM has systems that with just the push of a few buttons...
Are the prices in from the main office?
Looks like they're in.
...can speed information to all of your business locations in minutes. IBM Office Systems. With more than 40 years of experience, no one is more committed to the office, where it is now and where it will be. Where will you be?
The boss says it's a rush.
Right.
IBM.
UNLV against West Virginia live. Sold out West Virginia Coliseum, and the officials, two of them from the Atlantic 10, on the left Mickey Crowley, on the right Jim Murray, and the official from the PCAA is Jack Diddy. Now today we'll be playing under Atlantic 10 rules, and that means we'll have the three-point field goal from 19 feet 9 inches and a 40-second shot clock.
The three-point field goal favors Vegas. They've got more potential three-point shooters. The 40-second shot will only come into play if West Virginia gets in a half-court situation. They'll run the clock.
All right, and now the starting lineups for the game, beginning with the guards. For UNLV, 6'2" junior Jeff Collins. Greg Jones, we've talked about him, the senior from West Virginia. The coach's son, Danny Tarkanian, a junior at 6'2" and a freshman. Dale Blaney, a big guard at the spot for the Mountaineers. The centers, Sidney Green, All-America candidate, a senior. Tim Carney, a junior at 6'11" for West Virginia. Larry Anderson, the good outside shooter, 6'6" senior. Russell Todd, 6'7" senior, good inside player. And Paul Brozovich, the junior, and sophomore Lester Rowe, the other forward matchup. Eldridge Hudson had a hyperextended left knee. Now there's loose cartilage. He should play today, but is not going to be near active and not nearly what he normally performs. He cannot jump, but they're going to need him out there at some point. So now we're ready for the jump. Sidney Green jumping against Russell Todd, controlled by the dark uniform UNLV Rebels.
West Virginia opening up in his own defense. Throughout the 40 minutes, they will use multiple defenses. Don't be surprised to see some gimmicks. Maybe a box and one, triangle and two.
Anderson shooting outside from three-point range. And it's tipped in by Brozovich.
Now, Dick, throughout the year, UNLV has played both man-to-man and zone. I believe in this ball game, they're going to play zone as long as they can get away with it.
Greg Jones is number 5. He's the point guard. Russell Todd misses, and Anderson the rebound. Lead pass to Collins, and it was short, but it's going to be UNLV ball, knocked out of bounds by the Mountaineers.
Now, the very first trip down the floor for West Virginia, they missed a jump shot. I believe in a half-court situation, they will not win unless someone proves they can shoot that 18, 20-footer.
And I know you're not convinced that they have that effective outside shooter.
I don't believe so. Greg Jones is a threat from the three-point range. Everyone else has limited range.
Here's Collins. Collins hits the jumper. Transfer from Arizona. And Jerry Tarkanian with the sad eyes and the fuzzy head. He's been around a long time. And an 80% winning percentage. Russell Todd in the corner. Tim Carney handles the ball for the first time, the center. Blaney, the 6'4" guard.
Got a kick ball over there. That'll give him a new 40-second clock.
Gail Catlett, who played in West Virginia in his 5th year. Last year, the Mountaineers won 23 in a row, the longest in the country before UNLV. And they had a fine 27 in 4 years.
Now, we talk about tempo, Dick. Certainly, they want a transition game. West Virginia does. When they played best this year, though, in the half-court situation, they have run the shot clock.
They don't like to play half-court. Russell Todd inside. Second leading scorer, Russell Todd from North Fork, West Virginia.
And Dick, like many of the schools out in the eastern part of the country that you see, they'll shower the floor with confetti and what have you after the first basket. We've got to stop an action.
And you know, if they do that after a West Virginia basket when the Mountaineers want to press, that's not going to help the Mountaineer cause.
You're absolutely right. It should stop now. That's got to be it.
4-2 here.
Now West Virginia in a man. I think you'll see early, after made baskets, they'll go man. When they miss, it'll be zone.
Collins hit the first shot, forced this one, picks up the rebound, and Brozovic converts. So Brozovic with his second basket. He is a transfer from the University of Pittsburgh. These teams have never played before. This is their first meeting. West Virginia with a rich basketball tradition, and Tim Carney lost it out of bounds to UNLV.
With injury problems, with being on the road, with some sickness problems, you got to be worried about getting off to a quick start. This is good for UNLV.
UNLV has a reputation of getting off to a slow start. The Mountaineers the other, and now Collins, penetrating well, draws the foul. Foul is charged to Russell Todd, and our first foul of the game.
I think right off the bat, Dick, you've got to be impressed in the half-court situation with UNLV's passing ability. Certainly, Brozovic, anything he gives you offensively is something that you don't count on going into the ball game.
Collins double teamed, and a good defense. It's still UNLV ball. Paul Brozovic, a junior from Glassport, Pennsylvania, averages more rebounds than points. So anything he gives them offensively is a tremendous bonus. Tarkanian, they double on him, and Sidney Green double teamed inside Brozovic. And they're going to call 3-second violation against UNLV, and the Tark is off the bench.
Well, when Sidney Green gets the ball, their teammates expect him to shoot. However, that time a good help defense made him force one extra pass, 3-second call.
Tim Carney, you can see how much room they give him to shoot. The other forward, Lester Rowe, Blaney. And the basket will count, and a foul. It's Blaney's basket. The foul is charged to Larry Anderson.
Situation, Dick, somebody from West Virginia, they need a big game out of somebody. You know Todd and Rowe are going to play well inside. Jones is going to be a factor the entire 40 minutes. Somebody has to come out of the woodwork and play well. Possibly it'll be Blaney.
Blaney is a 6'4" big guard. Became a starter when the veteran guards didn't pan out this year.
And they promptly won 7 in a row when after his insertion into the starting lineup.
They've won 8 of 9 all told. There's Larry Anderson firing it up, and they're going to call a foul, a push on Lester Rowe. Lester Rowe, the sophomore from Buffalo, New York, pushing. Gail Catlett can't believe the call.
All right, this is a play that is so hard to prevent yourself from making. The ball is going to come right to Lester Rowe, but he's got his hands on the man. He just, out of natural instinct, pushes off a little bit. It was a great call by the official.
It is a second team foul. West Virginia has 2 team fouls and UNLV 1. And a technical foul has been charged against Gail Catlett. A technical foul against Gail Catlett. And Tarkanian also is not happy. And Larry Anderson will go to the line and shoot. On bench technicals, 2 free throws in possession. Here's Catlett. To 5, UNLV ranked number 1. I think UNLV has come out super poised in this game.
They really have. And that's something I think you don't expect from Jerry Tarkanian's teams unless you know them.
Picked off.
He walked.
Nothing called, and Lester Rowe misses, and a foul on the follow-up by Tim Carney. So Carney will go to the line as Paul Brozovic picks up his first personal foul. Jerry Tarkanian in his 10th year. Team fouls are 2 apiece, and Tim Carney, a junior from Falls Church, Virginia, goes to the line. He inherited the center position. Phil Collins and Donnie Gibson were graduated, and what was a strong point for the Mountaineers last year is turned into perhaps the weak link.
Well, and I think the fans at least feel that way. They've been on this young man from the beginning. It's lessened a little bit. I think as the pressure has stopped, he's played better.
Takes 1 of 2. 16.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton and Steve Grody here at the Coliseum in Morgantown. And there's the half-court trap that Gail Catlett uses almost every time then.
Well, and if you know anything about UNLV, you know that they're a very strong second-half ball club. They've gotten off to some slow starts. This has got to be a little scary, them playing so well here at the beginning.
Tipped out of bounds. It will be Nevada, Las Vegas ball. Tarkanian claims that Brozovic was hit maybe once or twice.
And hard, too.
Anderson, they are all over him. He is their outside sharpshooter. High post is Brozovic. Open man Collins who penetrates. Brozovic. Tipped up. Anderson. Blaney on the loose ball, and here come the Mountaineers. Greg Jones. Slapped away. And Lester Rowe can't convert. And the foul is against West Virginia.
It's on Greg Jones. Now, there's going to be a question from the West Virginia people. If you hit somebody with an elbow, it's a flagrant two-shot foul. You can see debris coming down all over the floor, but now watch. First, let's see all the action that takes place. Everybody's in on this play. This is a good no whistle. There's a lot of action here. There's no violations. Now, when this rebound comes down, watch. When he gets it, he's going to swing his elbow. But Greg Jones, I believe there was body contact, and he moved in before the elbow came.
That was Sidney Green, but one thing off the top, UNLV is not awed at all by the 16,000 crowd here in West Virginia.
Sat down with Mom, talked to Dad. Can't get it together, makes you feel sad. You know you can do it, you wonder where. You want it soon because you really care. The services can help you so you not only get better, you really grow. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll work hard, they'll make you a man. Responsibility is part of the plan in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Prove you can make it. Prove it to all. Serving your country and walking tall in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You've got it together. They'll see in a glance. Thanks to the services, you got the chance in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
In spite of backbreaking interest rates, unemployment, and recession, we've done what the experts said couldn't be done. We built a new Chrysler Corporation. We built it on high mileage and front-wheel drive, on K-cars and LeBarons, convertibles, luxury cars, sports cars. We built it on quality. That's why we back every new car we build for 5 years or 50,000 miles. Before you put your money down, think. You can go with Chrysler or you can go with somebody else and take your chances.
Look what we've done with Ramada. We're filled with things that are new. Now we're classy, stylish, a special place, a delightful escape for you. Ramada, we've got a new world for you. And still priced right. Look what we've done with Ramada. Ramada, we've got a new world for you.
Tonight, these three girls show you how to survive from 9 to 5, the original comedy hit. Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Dolly Parton in 9 to 5.
Loaded with action in the first few minutes of the game. That's the situation. Paul Brozovic has been a pleasant surprise thus far for the Rebels.
There's one thing he does well on the offensive end. He has a knack for keeping the ball alive. He's done that in this game. He's also done well, gotten himself open and in position on the offensive end. Dick, there's ice all over the floor. They've got to stop it and clean it off right here.
You pointed it out, and I know you tried to tell the official before we got back following the commercial, but that's kind of dangerous here.
I want to make another point, too. In a game earlier this year, played at Oregon State, USC was down about 12, 13 points in the second half. They started to come back. Someone threw something onto the floor. It hit the referee. He gave him a technical foul, gave the ball back to USC, and it almost changed the game. If they continue to throw stuff on the floor, the official's going to have to call a technical foul.
You mentioned Brozovic, who certainly has been an early bright spot for UNLV. But I think Denny Tarkanian, who is playing with bronchitis, he could not run yesterday and is going to have to be spelled this afternoon, is another player that bears watching. He's the coach's son, who was leading the nation in assists until this past week and led the nation last year. So it's very important that Tarkanian plays well, and the rebounding story will be an ongoing story.
Well, and rebounds in any ball game are always a big part of it. I believe that West Virginia has to get strong performances out of both their forwards, Todd and Rowe.
So far, UNLV is handling the half-court trap well. Tarkanian, Brozovic is 6'10", has been a key man there. Tarkanian passing inside and was not a good pass. Lester Rowe got a piece of it, and here's Greg Jones. They doubled Greg Jones, seems every time down. Offensive foul, Russell Todd. Second personal on Todd.
Now, Gail Catlett's up off the bench again. Here you see him right here. I think he's got a legitimate beef. On that pass, Brozovic went over the West Virginia player's back. They got the ball anyway. However, on this end, no argument. That was a charging call.
West Virginia, 4 team fouls. UNLV 2. Nearly 5 minutes gone by here in Morgantown, West Virginia, against the trapping defense. Here's Collins working on the big guy, Tim Carney. And Larry Anderson throws up an air ball. West Virginia has it. That's rare.
Oh, that one's got me shaking my head a little bit. I'd have thought that was a 60% chancer for him.
West Virginia trying to score to tie it up. Greg Jones. Corner is Lester Rowe.
Certainly for West Virginia offensively, they haven't had the transition game they'd like. Let's pay close attention if they get a good shot like that on the half-court offense.
Tim Carney, or that was Dale Blaney from Hartford, Ohio, a freshman. And we have a tie ball game, 8-8. Tarkanian quickly doubled up. West Virginia playing a very sharp zone, doubling the ball. Anderson is now 0 for 4. And here come the Mountaineers to try to take the lead. Jones, three-pointer, three-point shot. Greg Jones needs the ball for West Virginia, and he steals it there. Blaney. Foul on Tarkanian. And UNLV wants a timeout, Steve. They got to stop it.
This is West Virginia's game. This is the type ball game they want. You notice when they play well, Greg Jones is always around the ball making the play.
13:57 remaining in the first half. West Virginia has forged in front.
I once rolled a log off a 100-foot waterfall, came up standing, and popped myself open a cold light beer from Miller.
Ah, you lumberjacks. Well, one time a big-mouth bass pulled me up a waterfall. That's when you appreciate light beer, because it's less filling.
Yeah, but it was the thought of light's great taste that kept me going when I was cutting timber in the Great Sahara Forest.
Wait a minute. Sahara's the desert.
It is now.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
No, speaking of forest, remember that time when...
Bob and Sandy Davis needed 2 incomes to afford the home they wanted. Then tragedy struck.
Allstate update. Joint mortgage protection.
Sandy died before the mortgage was paid. Allstate Life's joint mortgage protection could have helped pay off their mortgage if either of them died for less than the price of 2 policies. But the Davises didn't have it. If you both work, talk to an Allstate agent. For life, home, and auto, you're in good hands with Allstate.
This is the Xerox 620 memory writer. Since it came out, the people who make the Selectric have brought out a new, improved electronic Model 85. But it can't print as fast as the 620. It can't be upgraded to add more memory. And it has no display to make revisions and correct mistakes before they get on paper, like the Xerox 620 does. That's why more and more selective typists select the 620 memory writer from Xerox.
Chevrolet player of the game this week, Kenny Patterson, with the winning basket for the DePaul Blue Demons yesterday in beating Notre Dame. And he is our Chevrolet player of the game. And near the conclusion of every CBS Sports NCAA basketball game, Steve Brody and I select the Chevrolet player of the game. Chevrolet donates $1,000 to be equally shared by the general scholarship funds of both schools to assist students in all academic disciplines. Struggling so far, Larry Anderson, 0 for 4 from the field.
But Anderson's the type of player, he's going to continue to shoot the ball. He's had games like this where he's gotten off to a slow start. Expect him to make them down the stretch when it's real important.
Tarkanian out, the point guard, Jones. Jones shooting. Three-point play, second one for Greg Jones. And it's a 6-point West Virginia lead. And UNLV following the timeout, trying to regroup the ball, and a foul call.
I don't think so. I don't think he fouled him. I thought it was a clean steal. I thought it was all ball. He may have bumped him after he knocked it out of his hands.
For Lester Rowe is his second personal foul, so the two forwards for West Virginia, who Gail Catlett must rely on for rebounding, each have 2 personal fouls. Now UNLV has missed its last 6 shots.
And now West Virginia, they made the basket. They'll go man-to-man defense.
14-8, West Virginia by 6. Nearly an errant pass. Brozovic saves. Collins they're looking for Sidney Green, who's not had a chance to touch the ball much. There he goes. Sidney Green from Brooklyn, New York, averaging nearly 22 points a game, and it's a 14-10 game.
When you want to stop the crowd, get it into Sidney Green down low. He's got 2 for you.
Then you'll hear a pin drop. Bernardo Brown, number 30, has come into the ball. Great pass. A fine pass inside. Missing inside was Tim Carney. And here come the running Rebels. Tarkanian.
The walk.
Tarkanian wide open. Finds Collins. Sidney Green tries to keep it alive, and Greg Jones, open court. Blaney. 7 points for Blaney. He's the high scorer, and he has not missed from the field yet.
Blaney's got 7, but give most of the credit to Greg Jones. He's gotten the 5 points off Jones' passes for layups.
West Virginia with a 6-point lead, matching their biggest. UNLV took an early lead. Tarkanian is wide open. He has not been an effective shooter, and he's weakened with the bronchitis. And now the Mountaineers.
Now this is so impressive. They got a rebound off a missed shot, and this time they're going to walk it up. Tempo control.
They try an alley-oop. Tim Carney. It does not work, and here come the Rebels, trailing by 6. I don't know how long Tarkanian is going to stay in there, because he really looks like he's laboring out there.
You and I both talked to him yesterday. He is very, very exhausted.
Collins with a good shot penetrating. He is an outstanding penetrating guard. Transfer from the University of Arizona. Mountaineers content to walk it up with a 4-point lead. 11:25 remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton and Steve Brody. NCAA basketball on CBS.
Not to belabor the point, we know West Virginia plays well in transition. We've seen that. This could be the key, though. It's going to be a tight ball game. Are they going to be successful working and being patient with West Virginia?
Good trap, good double-team defense on Lester Rowe. They have 7 seconds on the shot clock, and Jones is out on top. Blaney will try it.
It was blocked a little,
and it's picked off inside. Tim Carney follow up, and he draws the foul. So West Virginia got some benefits as substitutions come in the ball game.
5-0 Red, Pack 2.
Greg Jones is the open court player who needs the ball, and he sets up everyone on this team, Steve.
Well, he's shown us that he can pull up and hit the 3-pointer from right there. Here he makes the play with the great pass. Of course, Gail Catlett is his biggest fan. He believes this kid's got a long basketball future.
Tim Carney is on the line shooting 2. That's 14th foul against UNLV. Gary Graham, number 32, a freshman guard, comes in for Danny Tarkanian for UNLV. Eric Booker, number 15, is also in for the Runnin' Rebels as you look at the West Virginia bench, and Gail Catlett. Bob Smith and his assistant, Gary McPherson. Normally the Mountaineers are not a good free throw shooting team. They're doing all right so far.
We talk about the substitutions. By design, West Virginia will play 8 or 9. I think we'll see more substitutions for UNLV because of injuries and sickness.
Good pass and good play by Brozovic, open, and Green hit him. 17-14 West Virginia, nearly halfway through this opening period. Into the game, Tony Washam, a senior guard who was a starter earlier this year. Washam is number 11. He has the ball now. Jones, Bernardo Brown from Michigan, outstanding passer. We saw a glimpse of that earlier. Lester Rowe in the corner, shifting zone, 3-point attempt, 3 now for Greg Jones. He's 3 for 3 from that range. 20-14, and there is Sidney Green on a feed from Gary Graham. The freshman feeding the senior, and once again UNLV comes right back.
Touche. You know, the great teams will do that. They'll calm the crowd making a great play like that.
They're going to call the foul on Nevada, Las Vegas. Jones finally missed the three-point attempt, and Washington got the rebound and was fouled.
Now, this has happened a couple times, Dick. They've got to talk to their guards. The long rebound so often is just as important as the one that comes down right by the rim. Their guards have got to start blocking out, get that long rebound.
One of the greatest plays in basketball, the alley-oop. And Sidney Green at 6'9", who added a lot of muscle this year, still has the finesse, and that play worked perfectly.
Well, now, let me tell you something. The pass so often is more important than the shot. That was not only a great lob pass, you got to remember, that lob pass came from about 30 feet from the basket.
And from a freshman, Gary Graham. Loose ball inside Tim Carney. No basket. We'll have a foul before the shot. And it's going to be against Green. I believe Sidney Green has his first personal foul. Sidney Green, they ask him to do everything. He is the all-time leading UNLV rebounder. And going to the line will be the center, Tim Carney, who spent a lot of time at this stripe so far.
If there's one thing Carney does that impresses me, he knows what to do with the ball when he gets it close to the basket. He's got a good head fake. He knows how to use his body to shield and get the foul. He's been effective. He's been a part of this ball game.
He was used sparingly in his first 2 years. He showed some flashes against St. Bonaventure at 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 block shots. But I think they're spoiled from the days of Gibson and Collins.
Well, I'll tell you what, a good performance here today, and I think he's rewriting his story.
Missed the free throw, and they're going to call a foul this time on West Virginia.
Greg Jones.
Greg Jones, second personal foul. So Rowe, Todd, and Jones, 3 of the starters, have 2 personals each. 16 fouls. Each team has 6. One more, they're in the penalty.
There's one player West Virginia cannot afford to lose. It's Greg Jones. You love aggressive play, but he can't pick up fouls on missed free throws.
Eric Booker, double team, transfer from San Francisco. It was touched by a West Virginia player, so there's no backcourt violation. Booker in a crowd. 9:10 remaining in the first half, and UNLV is staying close.
Now, I think the important thing right now for UNLV, will they be as poised as they've been the whole game without Tarkanian in the lineup?
That's the story. If they can hold their own with Danny on the bench, because he is the glue of the ball club, Steve, you're right, that's going to tell a lot. And this will be...
No over and back. That ball came in from out of bounds.
From out of bounds behind, right. 9 minutes to go. 5-point lead. Graham, freshman, misses the shot. Green crashing the boards, and then they call it against Green, and it'll be against Larry Anderson. On the bench for the Runnin' Rebels is a huffing and puffing Danny Tarkanian, who did not run yesterday and is having a lot of trouble breathing. Anderson has his 3rd personal foul, and he is the big outside threat for Jerry Tarkanian. 3 fouls on Anderson.
And now the injury to Hudson is even bigger than we knew it was coming into this ball game.
On the line here is Renardo Brown from Highland Park, Michigan, a freshman. That was, by the way, the 17th foul against UNLV. Outstanding passer. Brown perhaps best used as a big guard in the lineup as a forward. Biggest lead of the game right now for West Virginia, 7 points, with 8:45 remaining in the first half. And a double team, get the ball away from Gary Graham. Washington.
That's a great block. Oh, they called the foul.
Freshman from Baltimore, Gary Graham.
Now let's take a look right here. Oh, he did. With the left hand, he got his right wrist.
Danny Tarkanian, after a short respite, is coming back in the ball game. Here's Danny, and he is replacing Graham, who showed pretty well for a freshman in a pressure game in the short time he was in.
But by design, as soon as Danny Tarkanian goes out, they go with even more intense half-court pressure. It worked. Now, Tarkanian's got to get them a little calmed down. You know, they have not, I don't think they've gotten the shot they want to get in the half-court situation. Sidney Green's not getting the ball. Let's get it to him on the block.
Missing the free throw, Washington. So Washington missed both free throws, and Collins looking to Brozovic. Finds the open man, Booker. Jones is on Tarkanian. His zone defense. Now Washington is all over Collins. Double team. Eric Booker hits a three-pointer. So the first three-pointer of the game for Nevada, Las Vegas. And Eric Booker, the junior from San Francisco, who is now 8 for 15 from the three-point range. Nearly 8 minutes remaining in the first half. 23-19, West Virginia leading. Tony Washington in the backcourt, number 11, along with Greg Jones. Russell Todd, number 33, trying to get position inside. They have 14 seconds on the shot clock. And a foul called as Todd was fouled by Brozovic inside. They wanted to get Russell Todd, who's their best inside player, free.
Take a look at the way they're attacking the zone. If you ever wanted to draw it up on paper and do it on the floor, this is how you would design it. Watch this. Pass, pass. Nobody dribbles. Now, here's the real... See, there's the pass right there. I think the Mountaineers are both surprising us and their own coaching staff. Even the coaching staff agreed. A half-court situation, a half-court game, we can't win. They played better in the half-court situation than UNLV. That's why they're on top.
Not only that, but UNLV is in foul trouble because Brozovic, who has played well so far, normally a reserve, has 3 personal fouls. He's been replaced by 6'9" senior John Copeland, number 35, who was really ailing with the flu yesterday.
He's the sickest of all of them.
He's the sickest of all, and Terry Tarkanian forced to go with Copeland now in place of Brozovic with 3 fouls. So this is something he really wanted to avoid.
Well, one thing you've got to have to be a great college basketball team is depth. We'll find that out today about UNLV.
It's been a West Virginia game. They've maintained the lead. But it's 6, 25-19 with 7:47 remaining in the first half. We'll be back.
Well, moms and dads the world around give their kids the same old sound. Got to go to school, be a big success. They wouldn't settle for anything less. Now they've learned whatever you seek, you'll help yourself to reach your peak. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Need a trade? Looking for a skill? They have hundreds to fit the bill. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Want more school? Don't have the bread. They'll help pay to get you ahead. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Mom and Dad, they'll want to shout. He's made it big. There's no doubt. Thanks, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
It's all yours, and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Oh, welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
The best beer for the best time of the day, Miller High Life.
We engineered the new Ford LTD around its most important component, its driver. Because every mile a family car is driven comfortably and quietly, it must be ready to react immediately. LTD's suspension of gas-filled shocks, struts, and stabilizer bars gives the driver a positive sense of control. The new Ford LTD. Comfort when you want it. Capability when you need it. Have you driven a Ford lately?
There's our situation in the first half. West Virginia leading by 6 points. UNLV 24-1 coming into this game, trying to avoid a second straight setback. Field goal percentage, West Virginia shooting well, but there's the man that UNLV needs.
They do. There were 2 people they had to control coming into the ball game. West Virginia wanted to stop Sidney Green and stop Larry Anderson. Now, early in the ball game, Brozovic got himself open inside because the defensive pressure was elsewhere. Now, Anderson hasn't shot well. Brozovic is out of the game. You got to go down to the block and get it to the stud.
Notice West Virginia's picking up UNLV even a little earlier now, trying to take advantage of Tarkanian.
Now, they're in a man-to-man situation. This would be the best time to go inside and get it to Sidney Green.
Looking inside is Booker, exactly to do that to Green, who loses the ball out of bounds. West Virginia ball. Well, they had the right idea.
Well, you know something, Dick? We talk so often about not putting a fella in the game late in the ball game when he hasn't played the whole time because of his hands. Sidney Green hasn't touched the ball. That's the first time, it might be the second, third time he's had it the whole game.
He might as well come off the bench 2 minutes ago. Against the zone defense, West Virginia trying to up the lead to 8. Their biggest lead has been 7. Inside to Renardo Brown, double team. Banking in missing is Dale Blaney, and the rebound and a foul. John Copeland got the rebound, and he was fouled by Dale Blaney. So we're going to see Copeland, the 6'9" senior, who was redshirted last year, go to the line. Jerry Tarkanian, only 1 year, fewer than 20 victories. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, report from Helsinki, the World Sprint Speed Skating Championships. John Tesh reporting. The CBS Sports coach's call. Brent Musburger will be at CBS Sports Control in New York. Copeland misses the free throw. And here comes West Virginia with Jones. He's got to handle the ball every time out. Russell Todd misses Green. Had a hand on it. Todd scores. Foul. Sidney Green had a hand on it. Russell Todd converted. And West Virginia opens up their biggest lead.
We talk about the difficulty in blocking out in a zone defense because you don't have a man assignment. West Virginia, on the other hand, has been a better offensive rebounding team against a man-to-man. This time, however, Todd follows the shot. Now watch, he puts that up with his left hand. That's a nice little play, isn't it?
Russell Todd misses the free throw. Second leading scorer on the team, averaging over 14 points a game. It is still UNLV ball. We understand that the scheduled final round of the Doral Open in Miami has been canceled because of heavy rains. Brent Musburger will bring you up to date at halftime. Inside to Copeland. UNLV using a lot of players they don't ordinarily use, and Copeland goes in, misses the shot, knocked away, taken down by Jones. Good ball handler is Jones. Gets the ball back. He has hit 3 3-pointers. That one is just for 2, but Greg Jones has 11 points and is the leading scorer.
It's been his game.
Tarkanian in a crowd. Copeland quickly gives it up. Jeff Collins, guard. Tarkanian and Collins at guard. Booker, Copeland, and Green up front. They give Copeland the shot, and he's just a little bit too rusty to be a factor, I think.
I believe so.
3-point attempt was missed by Jones. Renardo Brown scores. On Copeland. Renardo Brown will go to the line when we come back. We have a timeout. Bedlam at West Virginia Coliseum in Morgantown, West Virginia, as the Mountaineers are converting second shots and have opened up a 31-19 lead with 5:55 remaining in the first half.
Okay, guys, I was a little off. We're not on Route 35. We're on Jackrabbit Road.
Jackrabbit Road?
Yeah, we're not in Pennsylvania. We're in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
They got some great-looking steaks inside and Lowenbrow on top.
Let's go.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
He really lucked out this time.
Yeah, I knew we were wrong.
Without ceremony, a badge is awarded to the Mercedes-Benz automobiles that reach 200,000, 500,000, and 1 million kilometers. Mileage they reach with proper care under some unceremonious conditions. The million-kilometer badge is the final badge given. After that, Mercedes-Benz high mileage is its own reward.
From Radio Shack, the TRS-80 Model 3.
Buying this Model 3 was a smart business decision. It simplifies planning, projections, paperwork, and increases my productivity. And now that it's on sale at $500 off, we can have one at home, too. It plans our budgets, even educates and entertains the kids. A great investment, personally and professionally.
The TRS-80 2-disc Model 3 on sale for $17.95, only at Radio Shack and Radio Shack Computer Centers, the computer experts.
West Virginia leading UNLV 31-19. Dick Stockton and Steve Brody. The crowd has been raucous here, certainly to help West Virginia. Does it affect UNLV in any way, Steve?
I don't think so. The home court makes the home team play better. It generally doesn't affect the opposition.
Greg Jones with 11 points, the leading scorer, and he does everything for this club. We saw the steal, we saw the passing, and the score.
It's been his ball game. Everybody on West Virginia's team is playing better because Greg Jones is playing his best.
And you know what? He has 4 rebounds, too, which is also the game high. So put Greg Jones down in every column. Collins looking for Tarkanian. Double team by Blaney and Renardo Brown. Inside, Sidney Green stripped away momentarily. Knocked away. Good play by Carney. He's been very alert in this game as Lester Rowe checks into the game for West Virginia.
I think West Virginia did the most important thing right there in stopping Sidney Green. You cannot let him put the ball on the floor. Fullerton State took the ball away 4 or 5 times on that very same defensive play.
Offensive rebounder is Green, tips it up and misses, and they may call him over the back. They do. They'll call Green on the foul. And for Green, that'll be number 2 with him.
Dick, I'm a little bit surprised. The most important factor for a big man in college basketball is hands. I've been told that Sidney Green has a great pair of hands. Today, it doesn't look like he's catching the ball very well. He could not control that tip right there, a tip that he most probably should have made.
He's our leading scorer, rebounder, block shots, but he did not have a good second half against Fullerton State, and he went in and told Danny Tarkanian, I think I cost us the game. He was kind of low after that, but yesterday at practice, I thought Sidney Green was geared to having a tremendous turnaround game. So far, it hasn't panned out, and West Virginia deserves a lot of credit.
Well, sometimes physical play inside will take Sidney Green out of his game. Let's give Todd a lot of credit. Todd's been leaning on him the whole ball game. Todd's been a big factor.
West Virginia's gone to the line 16 times. UNLV only 3 so far in this first half. Less than 5.5 to play. 33-19. 14-point polls for West Virginia, looking for win number 19. Booker.
Now, watch the way they're leaning on Green inside, especially Todd. He'll get down inside, preventing him from getting the ball, leaning on him all the time.
Todd, number 33, as you watch him, he is sort of fronting Green. Booker hits the jump shot, and it's a 33-22 game on the three-pointer by Eric Booker. That's his second three-point shot. We have under 5 minutes at 4:50 remaining in the first half. The guard spot has really produced for West Virginia in this first half.
It really has. One of the fellows we talked about, Blaney, who just makes that pass, has really played an excellent game.
That was Lester Rowe on the feed from Blaney.
Anytime you get the ball in the middle against the zone, that's where you get your most offensive chances.
And they go out of bounds. UNLV ball. Later today, CBS Sports Sunday brings you on Top Lightweight Boxing. 1976 Olympic champion Howard Davis takes on undefeated Tony Balazar. 11 of his 17 knockouts have come in the first or second round. And the World Sprint Speed Skating Championships from Helsinki, Finland, coming up later today. Turn it over again.
Green lost the ball again.
He has struggled, and he's the healthy one, although earlier last week he did not practice. The turnover story.
Well, in West Virginia now, you get the feeling that they've got that killer instinct. They're really going after him now, and that's what you got to do when you get a team down. You've got to make the big play.
I would think, Steve, that UNLV would have to get it to around 10 or less to avoid getting into blowout territory before this half is over.
Well, the shot clock and the three-point goal are creating more comebacks in the second half. UNLV has been a second-half ball club because they're probably better conditioned. Now, with the sickness problem, we'll have to see if that happens here today.
But West Virginia's done a marvelous job in making sure Sidney Green doesn't have his hands on the ball. 2 seconds, and Blaney is forced to take a weak percentage shot. They get it out to Collins. We haven't seen UNLV do much of this today. Collins converts. That's what they like to do.
Yeah, but you know where the important play was? How many long rebounds has West Virginia got today? That time, Danny Tarkanian is in position. He makes the pass.
11-point lead for the Mountaineers. 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first half. Jones has been everything so far. Rebounder, passer, scorer, playmaker.
And once again, we talked about the clock. West Virginia has worked that clock in half-court situations. A number of times they've shot it right at the buzzer.
And they've gotten those second rebounds. Russell Todd lost the ball, it appears, but we will have another foul on the running Rebels. This one's on Danny Tarkanian. That's 3 on Danny. So now on UNLV, Anderson, Brozovic, and Tarkanian, each with 3 fouls, and Sid Green has 2, and they're going to bring in Gary Graham, the freshman, again. Young Tark is going to have to sit down.
Dick, I'm a little surprised at how easily West Virginia has been allowed to pass the ball to the middle of this zone defense. The next time down, let's take a look. Let's find out how that's happening. Generally, the weak side guard has to get back on the foul line to prevent that pass.
Todd misses the free throw. 2:45 to go. Deflected. Green misses the short jumper, and coming down is Lester Rowe, sophomore from Buffalo, who's awfully tough and can jump. Laney with the trailer coming in, and traveling called against Lester Rowe. West Virginia substitution coming in for the first time is the junior forward Mike King, number 42 from Fairchance, Pennsylvania. So this may be UNLV's last shot before the end of the half to try to narrow the gap.
I believe this is a very important possession right here.
Whistle as they go into green, and a foul before the shot against West Virginia.
Now, I think an important point. When a fellow's not playing well, why foul him and put him on the free throw line? Make him make a shot. He's got the ball in a position that I think is the toughest shot in basketball to make. 10-foot baseline jumper. Make him shoot it in the basket.
Well, that was Mike King, who just came in the game, and so...
And how often do you see that? A guy comes in, he tries to get into the action, he commits a foul.
Sidney Green, our first close-up look at it. One of 10 semifinalists for the Naismith Award as the best basketball player in the country. Jerry Tarkanian said, your team, Sid, will go as far as you take us. He now has 6 points in the ball game and 6 rebounds, a game high. 9-point lead for West Virginia, 2:20 to go in the first half.
Now let's see if UNLV can play good position defense here and force the Mountaineers to take a shot from the perimeter.
There's the perimeter shot, and Tim Carney sinks it.
But that's a good shot. Now how'd they get it? They reversed the ball very quickly. Got the open shot on the baseline.
Maintain an 11-point lead. Their biggest lead was 14. Sidney Green getting into the flow. That basket will count, and a West Virginia foul. So Jerry Tarkanian chewing on that towel, as he likes to do, seeing his team come back now to within 9 and can make it 8. The personal foul is on the center, Tim Carney, his first foul. Now look at the disparity between times going to the free throw line in this game.
Now, when will this come into play? The second half. UNLV, when they're behind, they'll come out of their zone and play pressure man-to-man defense. But with the foul situation, you wonder if they can play that strategy.
And there you go, a foul you don't want. John Copeland, who did not have a chance, and West Virginia the rebound. Copeland fouls him over the top.
Copeland impresses me as being exhausted and sick, much like Danny Tarkanian. And usually when you get tired, you'll make a bad mistake like that.
Exasperating look on the face of Tarkanian, and Gail Catlett's pleading another case. 1:51 showing on the clock, and shooting will be Lester Rowe. Lived up to his blue chip reputation as a freshman last year. This is the free throw. Mountaineers have been missing a few lately. They wanted a foul on Sidney Green with the elbows again. Nothing to do it. 9-point lead. Trying to make it 7. Collins. They're in 3-point territory. Graham, the freshman. Open is Copeland. Copeland, no basket. They'll call the foul on Copeland.
This is a big call. Let's take a look at it from underneath and see where the contact occurs. Boy, oh boy, that's hairline. It looked to me like the West Virginia defender was still moving in. That's a big call. A 3-point play right there, and it's 37-31.
Copeland, Tarkanian, Brozovic, and Anderson, all with 3 personal fouls here in this first half. But now the Mountaineers, 9-point lead. Mike King, 42, Washam, number 11. And Quentin Freeman came in, number 12. He's got good outside range, a good zone breaker. We'll watch for number 12 if the Mountaineers want outside shooting. They have 10 seconds on the 40-second shot clock. Crossing inside, Renardo Brown, and converted. King, foul, will go to the line to shoot. And this one is against Copeland, and that is going to be his 4th foul. Gail Catlett, who coached at Cincinnati before coming to West Virginia. And I don't think Tarkanian, Jerry that is, has enough players if all his people get into deep foul trouble.
Well, I think the biggest thing that's happening right now is that because they've called so many fouls inside, the UNLV frontline people are playing very tentatively. They're not going after the rebounds. There have been so many second chances for the Mountaineers. That's where they're winning the ball game. They're getting all the second shots, and they're going to the free throw line.
Mike King had the horseshoes on the first one. UNLV has committed 16 fouls to 9 for West Virginia in this first half. 58 seconds remaining in the first half. Don't forget, we'll have the CBS coaches poll coming up. World Sprint Speed Skating, Brent Musburger. The Doral Open final round postponed because of rain. Last minute of the first half, and once again the half-court pressure. Gary Graham tries to get it to Green. Carney all over him. Green is hemmed in. His baseline shot doesn't go. It's tipped up and missed by Booker. And UNLV still has it with 41 seconds to go. UNLV trying to come within 9 points, and they have an opportunity here. 35 seconds to go in the half. And that foul against West Virginia on Tim Carney, his 2nd personal foul.
Dick, I've been very interested to watch Jerry Tarkanian behave on the sidelines. While so many coaches, when they get upset, will get up and yell and scream, Tarkanian will stand at half court and just look at the official and say nothing.
Well, you know
I think that's more effective.
I think he can barely talk because he has the flu also. This free throw by Green. Renardo Brown finds an opening, and he traveled. That's why he found an opening. So 28 seconds to go now. And Danny Tarkanian has come in the ball game.
A shooter and a passer. Anderson's in to shoot the three-pointer. Tarkanian to control.
So Brozovic.
One shot.
Yeah, I think Jerry Tarkanian is looking for something to go out on a high note at halftime here. Brozovic is in the game. He's playing with 3 fouls. Tarkanian with 3. That's Danny. Booker is in there with Anderson and Green. And a good trapping defense by West Virginia. Brozovic, Green, baseline. He did not really take the shot you'd like with 13 seconds to go. West Virginia coming back. King, foul. They'll call the foul on UNLV. And so the running Rebels just can't get in the second gear in this first half.
Dick, if we had to pick out a piece of action that told the story of the first half, this is it. Take a shot too soon, don't miss it, don't get the rebound, and foul on the other end. UNLV has done very few things right in the first half.
Eric Booker committed the foul, and here's Mike King. 1-and-1 for Mike King. It's short. Green has 8 seconds to go. UNLV pushing it up. 39-28 the score, and here's Larry Anderson missing a three-pointer. Booker puts it up. It counts. It'll count. Eric Booker with the follow-up. The basket counts by Eric Booker, and a foul as well, and he'll go to the line. And injured is Renardo Brown, grasping his left knee. Brown is hurt, but let's take a look now at how UNLV just got in under the wire on Eric Booker's alert second effort.
You know, we talk so much, Dick, about the last couple of minutes of the first half. Now, I don't think UNLV has played very well. I don't think they've done many things right. I don't know, though, if I've seen a play to end the first half that may change things around as much as that.
Of course, he missed the free throw, and that hurts tremendously, as still on the court is Renardo Brown with an injured knee. Booker comes back, and UNLV still in range, Steve.
Well, it's been all West Virginia in the first half. I gotta believe they almost feel lucky to only be down 9 points. You couldn't have convinced me that West Virginia was going to dominate the offensive board like they did in this ball game. UNLV's got to come. They got to come out saying, "Hey, it's time to start all over, fellas. Let's play our game."
But UNLV will come back in foul trouble. They're going to have to play their game. That's the end of the first half. The score: West Virginia 39, UNLV 30. NCAA basketball will continue after this word from your local station.
Attention all personnel. MASH is going home Monday on a 2.5-hour special. Share the end of an era. That is all.
This is CBS.
We're at halftime here at the Coliseum in Morgantown. West Virginia leading 39-30 over UNLV, team that lost its first game of the season on Thursday night against Fullerton State. And right now, it's time to take a look at the CBS Coaches Poll, our final one of the year, in cooperation with the National Association of Basketball Coaches. So let's take a look now at the #1 team, Houston. They've won 18 in a row, longest in the country. Guy Lewis, the head man. Virginia coming on. A lot of people give them a lot of support. And what about Louisville with the win last week over Memphis State on CBS? They're going to be a threat. They've clinched the conference. Arkansas, a real fine team, and they're going to have a big test against Houston Thursday night in Fayetteville, Steve.
Well, UNLV is #5. I think we're seeing today here that they may suffer in a tournament from not playing against physical teams. Villanova, of course, the big win over St. John's. I believe they're looking like the best team in the East. Kentucky, they look like they're starting to regain that form they had early in the year, playing very well. UCLA, you know, anytime they take the floor, they generally have the 5 best athletes on the floor. St. John's, of course, another very strong team, as the Big East is in general.
And North Carolina, despite their slump, losing 3 in a row, you know, that school always gets ready for the postseason tournament, and those are the top 10. So, Steve, what do you think of that rate?
Well, you know, I'm real interested to see Houston play some very high-quality top 10 teams. I believe they've got a very fine team. Louisville, I believe, is playing as well as anybody in the country, and when they get good guard play, I don't know who can beat them.
We'll see what Arkansas is all about, too, maybe this week.
That's right, because maybe of all the teams in the top 10, they played the weakest schedule.
All right, we also have another man with an opinion here, just passing through. He worked yesterday's Notre Dame DePaul game, Billy Packer, and I know this is our last CBS Coaches Poll, and your impressions.
Well, I said yesterday the team in first place would have a 7-foot center. Everybody thought I was talking about Sampson, but it was Olajuwon, and Houston is a very physical club. We had them against Syracuse. I think it's a great team, a team that can win the national championship, but you went down the poll, and there are a lot of guys on there that can.
And these teams really get going when the postseason is getting ready.
Well, I think so, and with Ted Kitchell out at Indiana, who now pushes them back into the second 10, that probably takes away one of the teams that I thought was going to get to the Final Four.
All right, so let's take a look now at that second 10. Steve, let's see, number 11, Missouri, still with those 2 fine players. Iowa, the Big Ten, they've been strong. Patrick Ewing at Georgetown. Indiana lost to Michigan State. The loss of Kitchell will really hurt them. They're 14.
Well, number 15, Ohio State. You know, Eldon Miller is finally getting credit down in Columbus. He's doing a great job down there. Probably the Big Ten Coach of the Year. They played well. Boston College, Syracuse, the Big East well represented. Purdue has a very fine ball club. I still have not seen Oklahoma play. I can't wait to see their freshmen.
All right, thanks to Billy and thanks to Steve. Don't forget, the road to Albuquerque begins in 3 weeks on CBS, the NCAA Championships. And CBS coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this word from your local station.
Today, the sprint speed skating finale. Eamon Coughlin runs the mile. Howard Davis continues his comeback here on CBS Sports Sunday. This is CBS.
Finance or what? Orville?
I'm Wilbur. He's Orville.
He's Wilbur and he's Orville. Finance what?
Flying machine.
An aeroplane.
It flies.
Flies?
Like a bird.
You're crazy, Wilbur. That's Wilbur. That's Orville.
I'm Wilbur. He's Orville.
Don't let your projects get grounded. Security National will get your ideas flying.
You're both crazy.
If man were meant to fly, he'd have wings.
Come on, come into Security National in Wheeling. We'll back your big idea.
Ohio Valley Window Company is people, professional people like Bob Pettit. Bob likes to work in his yard, play with his dog, and relax. Bob's a Sunday school superintendent at the First Baptist Church. Bob is proud to tell folks how easily Ohio Valley Window Company can replace their old drafty windows with Weathermaster solid vinyl windows and help reduce high fuel bills. Bob Pettit and Ohio Valley Window Company. Good people serving you with good products.
Join me for the top news stories of the weekend in the news at 6.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge. Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. And by Howard Johnson's Motor Lodges. At Howard Johnson's, we care about the things that count most.
West Virginia Coliseum in Morgantown, West Virginia, where the Mountaineers are leading the Runnin' Rebels 39-30 at halftime, along with Steve Grody. Let's take a look at the halftime statistics. Good shooting for West Virginia, tough shooting for UNLV. I have to think the personal fouls is a major story here.
It is the story. You know, like I said, they told me, UNLV, that when they get behind, they like to come out and go full court pressure all over the floor. Now, I don't think they've ever found themselves in quite a tough position as this with both fouls and the health situation.
And the scoring summary, and Sidney Green. If you look at the personal fouls, there are 3 with 3 fouls and 1, Copeland with 4, but Green with 8, Collins have 6, and Booker also has 8 points. The top scorers, and Greg Jones, who has done just about everything for West Virginia, leads the Mountaineers.
I think the thing that impressed me most about Jones, even when the crowd got into the game, he hit a couple three-pointers. We never saw him lose control. He never made a bad play the entire first half. Maybe one bad lob pass. That was it. And
West Virginia, as you pointed out earlier, Steve, has played an outstanding game in a half-court offense, which until this day has been something that they really dreaded.
That has really been the key to this ball game. They have completely outplayed UNLV in the half-court situation.
So West Virginia will inbound with Lester Rowe, number 24, and quickly they get it over to Greg Jones, number 5.
Now, I think UNLV will stay in this zone, hope that just with the shot clock, they can get back closer into the ball game and don't have to go man-to-man.
Jones, senior guard. Blaney, number 21's a freshman. He's 6'4", got good size. Brozovic defending him and traveling called against Blaney. So now UNLV has the ball, Steve.
Well, UNLV has got to shoot a better percentage. Anderson's got to get hot. You know, give credit to the West Virginia defense. They didn't give them many good shots in the first half.
Eric Booker is starting in place. Is it one forward position? Larry Anderson with the shot, and Anderson, who went to high school at Shenley near Pittsburgh, just about 60 miles away. That was first basket of the ball game.
Now that was close. I'm not sure if that was a three-point goal or not. UNLV's claiming it was, but they're not going to get it. It was just a two-pointer.
39-32, UNLV coming back. As you pointed out, they've been a team that really starts to heat up in the second half. And West Virginia has blown some leads that they've had early. Missing Lester Rowe from the corner, coming back to Larry Anderson. And here's Danny T. Over to Booker. He has hit 2 3-pointers so far. Anderson wide open. 3-point attempt is good. And Larry Anderson brings Nevada, Las Vegas to within 4.
Don't be surprised by that. It's happened all year long, where Anderson will go 0 for 6, 0 for 7. Down the stretch, he'll never stop shooting. He's got him back in it right now.
So West Virginia's crowd silenced as UNLV comes out strong, and Jerry Tarkanian's team is starting to move.
We are USA 1. And proving it in Chevy Cavalier with more power from a new high-compression 2-liter engine with electronic fuel injection. Cavalier has it. Accord doesn't. Corolla doesn't. Citroën doesn't. Cavalier has new lower prices for '83, plus a full line of models, including one the leading imports don't even offer. Chevy Cavalier, from America's sales leader. USA 1 is taking charge.
One more set, guys? Nah, you guys are just too tough today. For Michelob Light?
You should have quit while you were ahead.
Michelob Light for the winner.
Would good friends play this hard for a beer? Well, it is Michelob Light, a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winner.
I don't get it. You guys killed us.
Don't blame us. You suggested we play for a Michelob Light.
Michelob Light.
When you stay in a big, fancy hotel, you pay for a lot more than your room. You don't need a fancy hotel to get a big, comfortable room. You can get one at Howard Johnson's, along with a big bathroom, an oversized bed, and even some special care in our executive section. All at a sensible price. At Howard Johnson's, we don't care about the fanfare. We care about the things that count most.
Opening minutes of the second half, Dick Stockton and Steve Grody. West Virginia's lead has been cut to 39-35 as Larry Anderson now with 7 points. And this is the closest UNLV has been since a 3-point deficit with 9 minutes gone in the game. And now the West Virginia crowd wants to get the Mountaineers going again. Slow beginning of this half.
And Dick, if this is going to be a game all the way to the end, UNLV has to have Sidney Green inside and Anderson outside. They missed him in the first half. They've got to have him the second 20.
Jones and Blaney outside, and UNLV just tightening up that zone just a little bit now. 9 seconds on the 40-second shot clock. Atlantic 10 rules. Blaney trying to get free for a shot. Brozovic in front. This is tipped up and missed by Carney, and we'll have a jump, and it'll go over to UNLV. The arrow going over to UNLV, of course, and Brozovic will inbound. There's the man we'll be watching, Sidney Green inside.
The first few minutes always so important in the second half. If there would be one way UNLV would want to get off to a great start, how would it be? Larry Anderson shooting the ball in from the perimeter. He's done that the first 2 times down the floor.
Anderson picked up closely. Lester Rowe, nearly a steal by Carney. 3-point attempt by Booker. He's hit 2. And coming down with the rebound, Greg Jones loses it to Tarkanian. Offensive foul against Danny Tarkanian. 4 fouls on Danny Tarkanian. And he came over to his dad, and his dad put a hand up and said, just don't say a word. Coming into the game will be the freshman Gary Graham. The first chance they have. 39-35 West Virginia.
Now, Dick, 17 minutes, 3 minutes gone by in the second half. West Virginia has not scored.
Lester Rowe driving towards the hoop. They still have it, and Green tears the ball away. Good defensive rebound. Lead pass Anderson. Anderson with a fake. They have to be playing like they're walking on eggs. Sidney Green with a 2-point shot.
Certainly, Dick, the point's important to get back in the ballgame, but the most important thing, with fatigue and foul trouble, now they can stay in the zone defense. That's what they'll do. They'll stay in that zone.
They can't afford to lose any of these top players. That's Russell Todd from the corner. Russell Todd, who's the leading rebounder. 41-37. UNLV had cut the lead to 2. It was once 14 points. Almost a steal. They get it across in time. Pulling up is Booker. Rebound Booker. Booker blocked out of bounds. West Virginia ball. It was off Sidney Green. Carney with a block inside. He made the good defensive play. And the center, who has been derided a little bit by the fans throughout the season, I think has played solid fundamental ball.
I think you're absolutely right. He has been a big part of this game. He's taking up room in the middle. He's a factor.
Here's Sidney Green. Finds Brozovic. There was contact. Still Nevada, Las Vegas ball. I saw contact inside.
All right, let's go back to this pull-up here. And I didn't see the play because Jerry Tarkanian blocked my whole view. Now, we don't have a wide enough shot there. You know, he pulled up and took a good shot. Possibly he pulled up a little too soon.
Anderson misses a 3-point attempt from the top. And West Virginia turns it back over. So the Mountaineers still have not righted themselves, though they have a 4-point lead with 15:48 remaining in the half. Second half, Quentin Freeman, number 12, good outside shooter in the ball game for West Virginia. And going out is Dale Blaney.
The second half has started just like the game started. UNLV coming out, and they score the early points. Let's look for Greg Jones to get involved offensively.
Inside Green. Rebound, Lester Rowe. Lead pass, they throw it away. Dick Stockton and Steve Grody at the Coliseum in Morgantown. UNLV, the nation's top-ranked team, with their first loss of the year Thursday at Fullerton State. But West Virginia leading 41-37. They had a 14-point lead that was cut to 2, and it's a 4-point game right now, and they'll call another foul against Nevada, Las Vegas, and they have been just deluged with fouls from the start of this game.
I don't know that I've seen a team that is about to get in as much foul trouble as Vegas is. And now that's just ridiculous. When the officials are whistling fouls, you have to alter your style of play. Booker that time just grabbed right on the guy's arm.
Second foul on Booker. And they're going to call this foul. Russell Todd, the shooter.
It's going to be on Booker again.
Marquette and South Carolina, two independent teams that are driving to a postseason berth for the NCAA championship, are in a barn burner down in Columbia, where Marquette leads South Carolina 49-48 in the Warriors under Hank Raymonds, going against Ray Myers' DePaul Blue Demons, who won the big game against Notre Dame. That's coming up next week. NCAA basketball on CBS. So we get very close to the road to Albuquerque. In 3 weeks, we'll be into the opening rounds of the NCAA championship, which you will see on CBS all the way to the championship, the Final Four in Albuquerque, early in April. 5 minutes gone by. Graham, the freshman, misses. Sidney Green got a hand on it. The foul basket will count in the foul, and that's what UNLV is going to need plenty of in this second half.
We said, what does UNLV need in the second half? They've got to have Sidney Green. They've got to have Larry Anderson. These fellows, I believe, have accounted for all the points in the second half. Now, you can block out, but when the ball goes up this high off the rim, generally the best jumper is going to get it. Sidney Green, a chance for 3 points.
And he's got it. The foul was on Quentin Freeman. Team fouls early here. 3 against UNLV, 1 against West Virginia, and Green is the game-high scorer with 13 points. West Virginia will go to the line again. They are not a good free throw shooting team. And going to the line will be Quentin Freeman. The personal foul. Graham, his second, and West Virginia 12 of 24 from the free throw line. Now 13.
Well, UNLV's lucky that it's 12 for 24. They would not be in the ballgame. You know, Jerry Tarkanian is standing so close to us when he gets up, walks around. I'm about ready to grab him and say, why, Jerry? Why the fouls?
42-40, West Virginia lead is 2 points. It's been West Virginia's lead since early in the ballgame when UNLV took a 6-2 margin. 14.5 minutes remaining in the second half. Steps call against Anderson. He dragged the foot. That's a good call on Larry Anderson.
Dick, I ran around and shot on the floor yesterday. I was a little surprised at how slippery the surface is. That time he didn't really take extra steps. His feet just slipped, both of them.
Keep in mind, West Virginia has won 43 of their last 44 games here in Morgantown. Their lead is 2 points. Tim Carney. 9 points for Carney. And the steal. Jones. Larry Anderson. And almost hit back there by Quentin Freeman.
Maybe the first time Jones has been out of control today.
Gary Graham, who led Dunbar High School, one of the nation's powers. Larry Anderson from the corner misses. Fighting it out of bounds, and Brozovic saves it for UNLV, and a fine play by the 6'10 junior from Glassport, Pennsylvania. Tim Carney on a fine pass earlier from Quentin Freeman. Anderson with the ball, 2 for 10 shooting in the game. They're going to need a little better production from him. 4-point Mountaineer lead. UNLV 24-1. Brozovic open to Graham. That's Graham. Gary Graham. His brother is a fine player in the ACC at Maryland. Ernest Graham. 2-point lead again for the Mountaineers. 3-point attempt by Jones. They need him. That's his 4th. 3-point play. And we'll have a Mountaineer foul called against Quentin Freeman, the senior.
The first half of the second second half. What's the difference from West Virginia's game? Greg Jones. He's been involved in all the play in the first half, dishing off. He made the three-pointers. He made all the smart plays. It's the first time we've had to use his name in this ball game on that three-point field goal right there.
He's 4 for 5 on three-pointers, but on UNLV's cause, they're starting to hit some outside shots, which is helping Sidney Green inside.
Exactly right.
And here's Sidney Green outside short. Rebound to Anderson. Anderson coming right back. Larry Anderson now with 9 points. So Green with 13, Anderson 9. And the two that Jerry Tarkanian needs to do it have brought UNLV within 3 points with 12:50 remaining in the second half.
Now let's watch this zone rotate. If they've had a problem, they've been letting the guy on the baseline get free for easy layups.
Russell Todd, this is the shot. Turned over, last touched by Quentin Freeman, so the running Rebels can come within 2 points with a conventional basket here. Brozovic, number 50, Green 21, Anderson 22, up front. Collins 24 is back there with Graham, number 32, and a foul. That's against Tim Carney. Don't forget, a little later on, CBS Sports Sunday has that promising lightweight boxing 1976 Olympic gold medalist Howard Davis against undefeated Tony Baldassar, and the U.S. Olympic Invitational track meet coming your way later on CBS Sports Sunday. Less than 12.5 minutes remaining. Collins penetrating. He's done well that way. He does it again. And now it's a 47-46 game. Mountaineers lead cut to 1. Jeff Collins.
Let's go back now, Dick. What we said at the start of the game. UNLV will play better in a half-court situation. That did not happen in the first half. It's definitely happened here in the second half. West Virginia needs a basket. They've only scored 8 points in 8 minutes.
West Virginia trying to hold on to their lead. UNLV, poised team. The three-point attempt is missed by Jones. He's now 4 for 6 from that range. And coming down is Graham. Graham drives.
He loses it out of bounds. I know they're shielding you. The benches are all up. Graham just lost that ball out of bounds, Dick.
I'm glad you were a big guard or forward at Michigan. Green is a leading scorer with 13 points and 13 rebounds, and it's been a quiet performance, but effective for Sydney.
Change velocity ratio.
When General Motors talks about fuel economy, it isn't just a lot of wind. Although wind is involved, aerodynamics are tested here in 50-mile-an-hour winds because less wind resistance means more miles per gallon. This has helped GM double fuel economy since 1974.
That's a fact, and not just a lot of wind.
We're living up to our commitment. Right now, today, we're the best GM ever.
Where are you going? To get a Stroh's. That's about a 200-mile hike through heavy snow.
I know.
If you think of it, get 2.
From one beer lover to another Stroh's.
Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge. With Chevy S10, the hottest selling new size pickup in America, with available V6 power that lets you out-tow Ford Ranger by 500 pounds and tow twice as much as any import pickup. Taking charge with much better V6 mileage estimates than Ranger. S10 pickup, maxi cab, and Blazer. V6 power from America's truck sales leader. Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge.
Next Sunday, NBA excitement on CBS Sports with Dr. J and Moses Malone as the Philadelphia 76ers meet the New Jersey Nets here on CBS Sports.
And an early second half rally by UNLV has brought them to within 1 point. We expected a running game from both teams. So far in the second half, it's settled into 2 half-court affairs, Steve.
And at the top of the show, we felt like if it was going to be a half-court game, UNLV would come out on top. Now, in the first half, we were a little bit surprised. It was West Virginia's ability to pass the ball quickly, precisely, and get it inside the zone defense. They haven't done that in the second half. And on the other end, finally now, it's Sidney Green and Larry Anderson playing like they should. They scored all but 4 points here in the second half.
And they're playing despite foul trouble on several starters, including a couple of reserves, and the fact that they have come in ill. No excuse, because that's the way it is, but don't forget, they're playing the Mountaineers tough on their home court. They won 43 of 44 here. Carney, that was a tough pass by Blaney. He had to go through a lot of people. Jones coming in, asserting himself.
That's where they beat UNLV in the first half. They got the ball in the middle of the zone and scored.
11 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Second half, Sidney Green misses the shot, but he's got to take the shots. Lester Rowe gets it out to Blaney. Blaney, Jones, blocked. UNLV got a piece of it, and now come the running Rebels back with Collins. Good penetrator, good feed. Collins to Graham. It's blocked by Carney, the center, who has done a terrific job this afternoon.
Maybe a little overpass right there, Dick. I thought Collins had the easy bank shot. Now, so smart. The game's close now. Who do we bring in? Tarkanian. Let's settle it down.
The glue, he's the one that ignites the attack, number 14. The coach's son has come in the ball game. One of the top playmakers in America. He has the ball now. 49 to 46, West Virginia. They were up at one point by 14 points. Brozovic turn around, and it's a one-point game again. Brozovic also playing well. I think
that's a big basket, Dick. He makes some of the big plays that go unnoticed. He knocks the ball off a guy's foot on the out of bounds.
Russell Todd, Blaney, three-point attempt again by Jones, and loose ball picked up by Jones, who goes right to the hoop. Missed the shot, the rebound. Taken down by Sidney Green, and a foul against Jones.
I sense that Jones is losing it just a little bit.
Frustration.
I think he's a little frustrated. He didn't touch the ball much here in the first 7 minutes. Now, the last 3 or 4 times down the floor, he's rushed his shots. You saw the frustration foul there.
You talked about Anderson and Green, and that says it. 12 of the 18 UNLV points have come from their starting forward. Now UNLV can take the lead. The last time Vegas had the lead was 6-5, 3 minutes into the game.
Now, they're in a box zone in a trailer on Anderson. They're in a box zone in a trailer.
Feed inside, picked off. Tarkanian didn't get it through. And here comes Jones. He lost control, but first a foul is called, and that'll be all for Danny Tarkanian. That's his 5th foul, I believe.
It is. I'm surprised, Dick. I'm surprised. Tarkanian is a very smart player. Why take a chance on a play like this? Why not just get back into the lane and play good defense? Why take it? That's the toughest call in basketball. Is it a block or a charge?
Well,
why put yourself in position?
That was not a blatant foul, though, Steve.
No, but what I'm saying, Dick, is he put himself in position to force the ref. He made contact. Now he's got to make sure that the referee makes the proper call.
He's pleading his case. Danny Tarkanian is fouled out, did not score. He had 1 assist and 2 rebounds, and he fouls out with 9:52 to go. And so the pressure and the responsibility of the point guard position, very important for Nevada, Las Vegas, and Jerry Tarkanian, now moves into the hands of freshman Gary Graham from Baltimore. Graham is number 32, and he will be a key factor the rest of the way for UNLV. Tarkanian fouls out. 49 to 48, West Virginia with the lead and the ball with 9:52 remaining. In the Coliseum, 16,000 plus, and the Mountaineers have not had it totally their way. Blaney, 3-point lead on a 2-point shot. Dale Blaney with 9. Steal, almost, by Lester Rowe. Nevada, Las Vegas has it.
And now, I would guess, Dick, that we can look for West Virginia to pick up a little bit more half court, extend the defensive pressure. Let's see if there's any effect.
This is not the way Danny Tarkanian wanted to rest and try to recover from bronchitis. Conference over at the scorer's table. It was last touched by West Virginia, presumably, and now more things are being thrown down. We've had a tennis ball, we've had debris, not to mention the ice.
there's been a discussion here at the scorer's table, and I see people holding up 2 fingers. I'm sorry, I don't know what had happened.
Well, nothing has been called and nothing has changed, but I don't know what the problem was either. Alley-oop to Sidney Green. And let's see if they give the basket to Green or to Graham, who really almost got that hoop in it. Give it to Green, who has 15 points. 9:28 remaining. 15 points, 15 rebounds for Sidney Green. And coming back with a 3-point play is Jones. He has 19 in the game. And a foul at the other end.
It's almost another alley-oop, Dick. They're going to call goaltending.
The basket is going to count, I think, but let's wait and see.
I think they're going to overrule it.
Shirt off. Now he says no basket. No basket.
I believe the one official thought the ball went in and counted the basket. Now, he must have thought the ball went in, or else maybe a goaltending call. Here, let's take a look at it. Now, obviously the ball doesn't go in. There is a foul. It'll be a 2-shotter when we come back.
Dale Blaney commits the foul, but as we started to say, Sidney Green with 15 points and 15 rebounds, the All-America candidate, and it's really come down now to Jones and Sidney Green. And CBS coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
I got this coffee maker at the Sunshine Store.
I got this toaster oven at the Sunshine Store.
You can choose from a fabulous array of gifts, free or at special reduced prices from the Bank of Wheeling's Sunshine Store, with certificates of deposit, individual retirement accounts, or a deposit in any account.
I got this Joggers radio at the Sunshine Store.
The Sunshine Bank of Wheeling.
LSB. It's lobster, salad, and beef every Tuesday night at the Anchor Room. Lobster drenched in butter sauce, a salad bar loaded with your favorite salad makings, and beef carved to your taste right before your eyes. For lobster, salad, and beef, all you can eat, it's LSB night every Tuesday at the Anchor Room in Beach Bottom.
WTRF Television, Wheeling.
9:15 remaining in the second half, 54-50 West Virginia. You remember the big conference at the scorer's table before. The Mountaineers thought that it should have been a 3-point play. Instead, it was a 2. That was the reason for the discussion. And then, of course, there was the Tarkanian complaint that it should have been goaltending, which was not called. It was instead a foul on Blaney.
Now, we've seen Larry Anderson for UNLV come out. He's got to keep shooting. He's got to keep shooting for UNLV to win this ball game. On the other end, Greg Jones, in that same role, has got to keep playing aggressive offense for them to stay on top.
West Virginia 54, Nevada, Las Vegas 50 in the second half, and Jeff Collins misses the free throw. Neither of these clubs are good free throw shooting teams, as Mike King gets instructions from Gail Hatlick. 1 out of 2 for Collins, and here comes King. So the junior forward comes into the game replacing Russell Todd. Todd has scored 8 points. 2 important games in progress. Kentucky over Tennessee, 30-24 in the first half, and Virginia 32-30 over North Carolina State. Winding down to 9 minutes remaining in the second half. 3-point lead for West Virginia. Blaney trying to get it inside to Sidney Green. Loose ball. Collins has it for UNLV. Down by 3. Here's Graham. Blaney picks up Anderson. They know he can shoot. Overplaying the ball, and Tim Carney forces a turnover. Jones. Basket good, and a foul. And the man that made it happen was Tim Carney, the 6'11 junior center, number 40, who started the run.
Dick, is such a momentum turner in college basketball. I've always said that if you're going to foul a player when he's going up for a shot, you've got to foul him strong enough so that the ball never gets to the basket and has a chance to go in. You note defensively. When Jones comes down in a broken court situation, he's going to go to the basket. You've got to stop him when he's got the ball.
So the way the game is emerging now with 8:41 to go and a 6-point lead for West Virginia, Jones has 22 points. Green has 15. So the two stars on each club are carrying it themselves. And Sidney Green tried to save it. It was over to West Virginia. And it's going to be UNLV ball as it was last touched by a Mountaineer.
Well, that was a good defensive play by the center once again, Brozovic.
Russell Todd replaces Lester Rowe. King is the other forward for West Virginia. 8:28 remaining in the second half. Sidney Green. And Sidney Green has 17 points, and it's a 57-53 game, West Virginia.
Now, that's a nice shot, camera people. Because watch, they're doing something different now, Dick. Before, when they've had Jones at the top with the ball all the time, he's drawn too much attention. They put him on the wing, he can take a better look at the basket.
He missed the three-pointer, but Mike King was there to stuff it through. There's the time remaining in the second half, 6-point lead, West Virginia. And a foul. Blaney fouls Sidney Green. Now, you talked about the defense and what they were setting up here.
Well, they've taken Jones and taken him off the point to give him a little bit less defensive pressure. Now, once again, see, when you're in the zone, the best way to offensive rebound is coming from the wing and pick your seam, and that's exactly what happened.
And that was King who got in off of the wing to get the easy bucket, and with Blaney committing the foul. Sidney Green misses the shot. Sidney Green, by the way, has moved into the #2 spot, all-time scoring. For the running Rebels, he makes 1 of 2 and a 5-point West Virginia lead. 7:45 remaining. Watch Jones, who has 22 points, the game-high scorer, and 5 of 7 from the three-point range. Blaney now to Jones. They go for the loose ball. And we're going to have a jump, and it should be West Virginia ball. Keep in mind that UNLV, after losing to Fullerton State Thursday, wants to get back on the winning ways. And to beat West Virginia in their lair would be a tremendous accomplishment. Meanwhile, West Virginia would like to be in the top 20. They're driving for the NCAA championship berth. Big win for them here if they can do it.
And I think, too, this is a credibility game for West Virginia.
And maybe for UNLV, considering their schedule.
Except that UNLV will be in the tournament. I don't know if West Virginia has that locked up yet.
If they don't, they're right on the precipice. 5-point lead for the Mountaineers. Collins goes in and draws the foul. Collins has been really effective. We knew about him as a transitional player, but he can penetrate as well as anyone on this court, and that includes Jones.
No, you're absolutely right. He may be, at the off-guard position, he may be the quickest player over 94 feet in the country. He's a great leaper. But he's been such an up-and-down player. And not so much up and down in a single game, but up and down, period. He either plays well or doesn't play well.
UNLV is 7 for 13, now make it 7 for 14 from the line. West Virginia has missed 13 free throws.
And when you look at the teams that are going to be in the tournament, in the Final Four teams, you can't get there if you don't shoot free throws well.
1 out of 2, and that's all UNLV has been able to do. Just 1 out of 2. They're down by 4 points, 59-55. Blaney, by the way, who committed the foul, has 4 personals and stays in the ball game. Blaney's number 21, excuse me.
We haven't touched on it yet, but remember, this 40-second clock goes off at 4 minutes, 39 seconds in the ball game. 6:52 left. That may force UNLV out of the zone defense.
That's why it's imperative that they stay within 4 or get a little closer. And don't forget, this is the kind of game where fouls will not hurt so much because of the poor foul shooting in the game.
Exactly right. As long as, someone with 4 doesn't commit it. Jones with a
2-pointer this time. 6-point lead. You watch the clock. Jones has 24 points, shooting over 50% from the field. UNLV going with the freshman Graham at the point guard, number 32. He has it now. And Carney tipped it out, and they'll call the foul against Sidney Green. For Green, that is his third personal foul. Team fouls, each, of course, in the limit, in the penalty with 7.
I don't know, Dick, that at this stage of the ball game, that's a good shot. Now, I'm hard-pressed to find contact on Sidney Green's part in that replay.
Tim Carney will go to the line, shooting 1-1. Free throw Story. So even though the clock will go off with 4 minutes to play, the way they're shooting free throws, it's not going to bother a team to foul someone.
Right.
Carney, however, hits. He has 10 points. He is 6 for 9 from the line.
Interestingly enough, Dick, West Virginia's been the type of ball club that has missed free throws down the stretch like this to allow teams to get back in the game, but they've made the critical one.
1 of 2 there, as you saw the miss by Carney, rebound by Anderson. Patience important for UNLV. Anderson, 6:09 remaining, 62-55. They get it into Sidney Green, not to be denied. Sidney Green brings UNLV to 5.
If you can prevent him from putting the ball on the floor one time, you take away his effectiveness in that position on the block.
Green has 20 points. He had 8 at the half. He has 12 in the second period. And Carney, that pass was intended for Lester Rowe. And Carney was Johnny on the spot. He has 12 points, 5 more than his season's average. 5.5 minutes to play, second half, 64-57 West Virginia. Danny Tarkanian, the coach's son, fouled out. Brozovic inside, fouled by Carney.
Dick, that was a very, very nice move on Brozovic's part.
Now let's watch a good move, position move on Sidney Green's part earlier.
There's 2 things that make an inside player great is knowing how to position his body, and when you get in position, being able to catch the ball and then go up with it. Now, they let him bounce it one time. Of course, the weak side help wasn't there. They let him bounce it one time, and he's got a very strong move inside.
Brozovic, a 50% free throw shooter. That was his first attempt. He missed them both. And a lane violation called against West Virginia, so Brozovic will get another chance. 5:18 remaining, second half. West Virginia had a 14-point lead at one time in the first half. UNLV came back to within 1, trailing by 6 right now. And here comes the turnover. And there is Graham, the freshman. Shuffles to Anderson. Anderson brings him to within 4.
Great move. The move so many college players have a hard time making. You're going hard to the basket, stop, and shoot the jumper. Plus, he didn't get a chance to put it on the floor. Even tougher.
Yeah, that normally is like you can almost go to the bank with a charge on a situation like that. 3-point attempt misses by Jones. Inside Brozovic. West Virginia has the ball.
Too soon. Shot it too soon. They want to start running 40 now like they did in the first half. Run 40 seconds, then shoot it. 4:50 left in the game.
Here comes Jones inside, and Jones with a great move inside. 26 points for Greg Jones, who's trying to show a lot of people how good he is. One of the best guards in the East. 66-60, West Virginia leading. 4.5 minutes to play. The Mountaineers' only loss at home was to St. Bonaventure, and Graham turns it over, throws it away. Jones, and he gets it. 28 now for Jones. Time beginning to run out. UNLV. The turnovers are costly.
Now, what kind of defense are they in? It looks like a box zone and a trailer on Anderson.
Carney intercepts the pass inside. Jones, Beans, Rose. They get Todd, Russell Todd with the bucket. Timeout, UNLV. tells you why.
If you've got what it takes and really care, there's a special kind of life you'll want to share. Serving your country is a special call. It's good for you. It's good for all. Not all who try fit the bill. It calls for brains. It calls for skill in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. High-tech and the services go hand in hand. A whole new world. You're in demand in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll move up. You'll feel proud. You'll stand out above the crowd in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. But most of all, you'll earn the respect of the people and country you're there to protect in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
We are USA 1.
And we're taking charge with easy-to-own transportation. For only $49.97, you can get this two-door Chevette scooter. And now with low 11.9% financing, it's even easier to own. You put $1,200 down and your monthly payment is only $99.80. A brand new 1983 Chevy Chevette for just $99.80 per month. More proof. USA 1 is taking charge.
Where are you going? To get a Stroh's. That's about a 200-mile hike through heavy snow.
I know.
If you think of it, get two.
From one beer lover to another Stroh's.
This is Dick Stockton along with Steve Grody at the Coliseum in Morgantown. West Virginia leading UNLV 70-60. 3:49 remaining in the second half. For you viewers who are expecting to see the final round action of the Doral Open Golf Tournament, it has been postponed because of heavy rains in Florida, but we will have an updated report from the Doral following this game. You're looking at Gail Catlett, and Greg Jones, his star player, has brought West Virginia from a 1-point lead to a 10-point lead in a hurry, Steve.
And I think the best thing they did here late in the second half is they've taken Jones and moved him away from the point. They've gotten him away from the ball. They've taken the defensive pressure away from him. Gives him a chance to cut down the lane. He scored 2 baskets like that. He's made a defensive play. And then on the other end, UNLV suffered from Tarkanian not being in there.
The line on Greg Jones, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 assists. He has been everywhere. And when Greg Jones had a bit of a lapse in the beginning of this second half, that's when Nevada, Las Vegas made their run. When he came back into the flow of the play, that's when West Virginia opened it up again.
Absolutely right there.
3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Brozovic, the big guy, number 50, to Anderson. Clock has been turned off. 3-point play is good by Booker, the transfer from the University of San Francisco. And now it's a 7-point game.
Now, Dick, no clock. There's no clock now. Let's see what happens. I would expect them to probably spread the floor.
The timeout story, a compelling one perhaps, with UNLV leading only 1. They call a foul on Brozovic. 4 on Brozovic. Jerry Tarkanian can't believe it. His son, Danny Tarkanian, has already fouled out, did not score. 58% free throw shooter, Carney on the line.
And I don't think he's been very good today. Of course, nobody's been good to the line today.
He probably has been as good as anyone, actually,
right.
Steve. He is 6 for 10, which, the way things are going today, is pretty good. Unsung hero in this game is the man at the free throw line. Season's high was 16 points. Carney has 14 now. Now, a 9-point lead.
Very important. There's still 3 minutes left. UNLV does not have to score in a hurry. They have to get, most of all, a good shot at the basket, and not necessarily a 3-point play. Sometimes it's better to go inside and get your sure 2-pointer with Green.
And also, Steve, as we look at Jerry Tarkanian, who was at Long Beach State, went to the Final Four with UNLV in 1977, lost in the semis to Carolina. And if they can have the threat of the outside shot, that could open things up for Sidney Green inside.
You made that point earlier, and I think you're absolutely correct. Certainly, they can't miss free throws and let this happen.
It's Russell Todd, and that's exactly what they can't have happen. Less than 3 minutes to play. West Virginia by 11. 2-on-1. Sidney Green, no basket. Foul, he'll go to the line. But spectacular slam dunks by Russell Todd and Lester Rowe, the two forwards, and Gail Catlett sitting in pretty good position now. Not so for Jerry Tarkanian.
For the home team, no better time to get a dunk for the fans than at this point in the ballgame. Now, on this end, obviously, West Virginia does not want to stop the clock and put them at the free throw line. But when you get juiced up, you're playing well, the game's going like it is, those things happen.
And UNLV is missing free throws. It cost them. Jones. Jones now with 30 points in the ballgame. Steal by Carney. Up ahead to Lester Rowe. But he misses that one.
Lost his balance, might have hurt his leg a little bit.
Razumich on the good feed from Graham. It's 78-65 with now 1:51 remaining. Long way to go for UNLV. Time running out, and Blaney on the feed, and West Virginia is going to roll to their 19th victory. Sidney Green comes back, but West Virginia will gladly trade hoops with him. Jones controlling. West Virginia.
Now, what does West Virginia have to do to get in the NCAA tournament? They've got to play well in their conference tournament. 1 or 2 wins here to close out the season. They can't afford to get knocked out early in a tournament. Preferably they win the whole thing.
Jeff Collins with a three-pointer. UNLV has not given up battling. It's 82-70 with 58 seconds to go. Steele, Larry Anderson, and Graham goes in. The basket will count, and a foul on West Virginia. So now all of a sudden UNLV is within 10 points and will go to the line with 52 seconds. Danny Tarkanian, what must be going through his mind knowing that when he's healthy and he can run the team, UNLV rolls. He's almost helpless today with his bronchitis, and of course he fouled out. But the fast break story is all West Virginia.
West Virginia 28, UNLV 8, West Virginia 82, UNLV 72.
You know how to get at the facts.
Welcome to America, Mr. Long.
You're a professional. You live, eat, and breathe information.
I really want to thank you for allowing us this interview.
But as good as you are, you can't do it alone.
Let's go. We got a deadline to meet.
You need good people and office automation from Digital. Digital Equipment Corporation makes office automation for professionals.
We need some more background.
For people who need all kinds of information from other people,
on French TV 2 years ago.
from other places, from other computers. With just one terminal on every desk, Digital brings every office automation function to everyone in the office.
Here's your cover.
The world's largest computer company doesn't do that.
We did it.
But the world's second largest does. Digital Equipment Corporation. Computers for professionals, from professionals.
Beatico Creek, Louisiana, and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Beatico Creek means bass, fat and tasty. And Milwaukee means beer, cold, crisp, Old Milwaukee beer, and the smooth golden light taste of Old Milwaukee Light.
Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light
tastes as great as their name.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better than this.
52 seconds remaining in the second half. West Virginia 82, UNLV 72. Each team possessing one of the super players, one of the outstanding people who really carry the team on their shoulders. Greg Jones, 19 of his 30 points in the second half, has been the penetrating guard, the passing guard, a rebounding guard, and the good scorer from the long range. Sidney Green, the All-American center at 6'9", who's tried to do it inside and out. He's had 22 points, but Jones has been the man, and his team has had the lead.
There's no question that early in the ball game, UNLV got off to a good start. Greg Jones got into the game, and they led at halftime. In the second half, UNLV got off to a good start. Jones got back in the ball game. Now it looks like they'll come out on top.
And UNLV has hung in there without their star point guard, Danny Tarkanian, who's fouled out of the game, was not 100% in West Virginia, taking advantage of every opportunity.
I don't know that West Virginia's played a better game than they did today. I don't know anybody on West Virginia who did not play a good game. They played together well. This is an outstanding performance. Now, how does two losses in a row hurt UNLV? And is it good to lose a game before you go into the tournament? I don't believe any of those things. I don't think this road trip hurts their confidence. They've played a very tough team in Fullerton on the road. This is a very terrible place to play and come out with the win. Plus, they played over adversity and health and injuries. They'll go back and regroup, and they'll be ready for the tournament.
They'll lose their #1 ranking. And, of course, they've lost their unbeaten season Thursday night. A lot of things were stacked against them coming into this game because of the loss, the luster off of the unbeaten season. Sidney Green comes in for 24 points for him. But playing 2 games on the road, just a little bit too much for Jerry Tarkanian's club, who now must try to get his team well, healthy. And we're also talking about Eldridge Hudson, the outstanding freshman forward, who I think could have been a big factor in this game, but did not play.
So how does Hudson's absence affect this team? Well, if I told you that Hudson was a 6'6" power forward who is great around the basket, can shoot the ball, pass, and can dribble it, I don't have to tell you anything more. A player with that type of ability makes this an awesome team that has won 24 in a row before he got hurt.
There he is, the prep school player of the year last year in Los Angeles. He has loose cartilage in his knee, hasn't been able to really jump and do too much since he suffered the hyperextension of the left knee.
Now, West Virginia's made enough bad mistakes here in the last minute and a half when they should have salted the game away. Let's see now if they'll just be patient and run time and put this game away.
Carney is going to go to the line. West Virginia wanting national exposure, playing out of the Atlantic 10, which does not get much national exposure at all. Wanting to prove something today.
Well, I think they have.
Wanting to prove that, #1, they have an enthusiastic crowd, which they proved before the opening tip. And the other thing is that they could play a scrappy running game with the best of them. And UNLV did come in #1 here. So a tremendous effort for West Virginia and a great showpiece for Greg Jones. 3-point attempt by Booker misses. 27 seconds remaining.
And Dick, I don't think there's any question about the fact that a win like this is very important to their tournament chances.
I think it is. They beat the #1 team. And Catlett has to be a bit frustrated here because his team is just like sand in the finger. We want to welcome the viewers who have been watching South Carolina against Marquette. We have 18 seconds to go here. South Carolina won 66-64 over Marquette in Columbia, but right here, UNLV heading for their 2nd straight setback, but scrapping and fighting down to the wire to West Virginia, 85-78 the score. It's been a game in which West Virginia, the active coaches, he's the best. Green fouled out of the ball game, and a fine performance for Sidney Green, Steve. 24 points and 16 rebounds. The only time he didn't really do it was early.
Well, and you're right when you said that it's been basically a quiet performance. And it's funny, even in the Fullerton State game, people say he did not play well. Well, I love to have as a coach, I'd love to have a player who scores 18 points and doesn't play well.
And taken out, Greg Jones. The Chevrolet player of the game for today is indeed Greg Jones of West Virginia, the 6'1" senior guard from Youngstown, Ohio. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals and 2 assists, and he scored 16 points in the last 10 minutes, so he did it in the clutch. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to be shared equally by the general scholarship funds of both schools to assist students in all academic fields. 2-shot foul with 5 seconds to go. Well, as we look at the road to Albuquerque, Sidney Green is going to be performing in the NCAA championships. They've won the PCAA championship. They've already clinched that. And I think West Virginia will also find a way in.
Well, I think as we look into the playoffs here, Dick, the NCAA championship, I don't think there's any question. Teams play well at certain stretches of the season. Let's look at a couple of teams that are playing well down the stretch. Kentucky's playing well. Iowa's coming on strong. So keep those teams in mind as we go into the tournament.
I want to say a word about the man you just saw coming to the bench, Tim Carney. Unsung hero without a doubt. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 block shots, and 2 steals. He had a tough job this year to take over for 2 veteran strong centers. The crowd got on him early. People said he was the weak link. Today, he showed what he was made of.
And I'll tell you what he did very well, especially in the first half with those steals. And a couple times they didn't come up with a steal, but he prevented the ball from getting inside to Sidney Green.
4 seconds to go. Intercepted. And we still have 2 seconds remaining.
On number 14, J.J. Kroll.
The Tarkanian group, Jerry the coach and Danny the son. Danny, who has a 3.84 business school average, an intelligent boy.
Well, and you saw Hudson there, somebody putting their arms around Hudson. He wanted to go in the ball game. They're holding him back.
Sure he did, but Jerry Tarkanian is smart. He's got to get ready for the postseason. He'll need Hudson then. Game is over. West Virginia makes it 44 of 45 here at the Coliseum.
No other team in the country revolves and relies on one player as much as West Virginia does. When Greg Jones plays well, they play well. The offense, the whole game, the whole complexion of the game revolves around him. We saw it in the middle of the first half, and we saw it more importantly when the game was on the line, the middle of the second half, and UNLV started coming back. It was he who rescued the Mountaineers. He took them to victory.
All right, Steve, we'll be back with more. As Marty Aronoff tells us, 32 points for Jones, the MVP, 24 points for Sidney Green, and we'll be back to the Coliseum in Morgantown in a moment. Assignment, playing in Morgantown, West Virginia, where the Mountaineers hardly ever lose, and West Virginia, agonizing for national exposure, showed what they're about, and we can expect to see both of these teams, UNLV, of course, having wrapped up the PCAA championship, in the NCAA championships. Coming up, Brent Musburger in the studio, and so UNLV regrouping, getting set for their conference tournament. This is Dick Stockton for Steve Grody saying so long from Morgantown, West Virginia, where the final score was West Virginia 78, UNLV 67. Stay tuned to CBS Sports, as Brent Musburger will have the latest from CBS Sports Control. NCAA basketball has been a presentation of CBS Sports.